This is Rob Passons. I'm at North Star Resort on Wigwam Bay. It's Wigwam Bay, right? Yeah, we are. It's February 1st. We're going to get a Mille Lacs Lake fishing report from Mark Mohawk. Mark, how's it going?
Not too bad, Rob.
Yeah, I see you got a new puppy there.
Yeah,
let's
get a Harley.
Hey, Harley. There he is. Yep.
There on them pine cones.
So,
he's making good 6-foot retrieves. If I shoot a duck within 6 feet, I'm good to go, man.
He's gonna be a winner. So how's the fishing?
The fishing's pretty good. If you look out in the bay, you see the houses are spread out. Some of the guys are fishing from 8 to 16, doing real good on walleyes, picking up a few perch, occasional northern. The guys are out in the center. Once you get past 17 feet here, you're in the mud, and those guys are catching more big walleyes and better perch.
Yeah.
Guys have been doing the best. They've been jumping on the sleds or ATVs, running out to the mud. Off the deep edges, they're catching all three, the jumbos, tulies, and walleyes. Been real good at night. Now, if you're interested in coming up and doing some fishing, I highly recommend pay attention to that full moon this next Tuesday. Will be the full moon. And with this warm weather we've had, you can kind of see out on the lake that the snow's thinning down, which lets in more light. And I recommend you fish in shallow, 12 to 16 feet. Be real careful with your noise and light.
Yeah.
And last month when we had that full moon, we just pounded the heck out of them.
Really? Really?
Oh,
perch, walleye, everything? Or
mostly walleyes.
Yeah.
Perch are biting during the day, kind of turn on, peaking up towards late in the day, first thing in the mornings. But those walleyes bit right at the prime walleye time.
Yeah.
Then it slowed down as the moon got to about 30 degrees off the horizon. It took off, and they just bit until the guys told me they were pulling up the rattle reels at 3 o'clock in the morning. They just
what
had
are they,
enough.
minnows?
Yeah, on minnows.
Yeah. Okay. So the mud. When you say the mud, how deep?
Well, the mud out here, once you get past 17 feet, that's mud. But with this full moon, what I would do is I would come in and fish shallow. Because the shallower you get, the less refraction you have in the water. It lets more light in, and it's better for those walleyes. You just got to take into consideration. You got to be a little quieter, and you got to dim down your lights a little bit. But if you can handle those two things, you really do well. The first part of this next week, Tuesday's the full moon, so I usually think 3 days prior and 3 days after is all real good.
So the ice is good.
Yeah, we got about 16 inches here. This warm weather hasn't had any effect on it. We haven't really noticed any loss. The big issues are the crack. With the change of weather, we're getting a lot of movement. Guys told me yesterday that they had a bump and it felt like they moved about 6 inches.
Oh, geez.
I've also noticed that in the shallow rocks up on Sherman's Point here, the fishing's been kind of slow, and it's because it's so doggone noisy. It's almost like being out where there's a lot of guys driving their trucks. You know, it's just unbelievable. It's so noisy, and I think that's scaring down the fish a little bit. We've actually been doing better in the mud. And then here in the bay, I just tell people spread out and you'll catch some fish if you're in a big group.
How's Chico's working it? I know that's one of your favorite spots. What is it,
Chico's
Flat?
Yeah, you can see they're kind of clumped up over there.
Yeah.
Out on Chico's. It was better earlier, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's the traffic or just getting fish down a little bit. They're still catching fish, but the guys on the edges are doing better than in the middle of the group.
All right. Well, sounds good to me. Mark Mohawk, North Star Resort on the west side, Wigwam Bay, and Harley. Harley, say goodbye. Say goodbye. There he is.
There you go. What a ham. You're a camera hog.
Thanks a lot, Mark. You have a great week.
Rob.